I just recorded a time-lapse video of putting this bottom hem into a sheer fabric. I have 10 yards of fabric railroaded here, so it's a really long piece of fabric. Try to pull it down to the next section and show you step by step what I'm doing with one hand. We'll see how that goes. Okay, here goes. I'm gonna try to pull down this fabric that already has the bottom hem pressed into place and pinned. Since I have 10 yards of fabric here, I'll have to do the same thing about 3 times along the edge of the table before I have all 10 yards ready to hem. So what I need to do is I pulled out a few of the pins from the section that's ready to go so I can open it up. And what I want to do is line this edge, which was the selvage edge that I cut off. There's no seams in this fabric, it's totally railroaded. So I'm going to pin this end. That way as I move this way, the pins will hold the fabric there in place. Now I should be able to align this fabric on this line right here. I'm going to turn up 8 inches for a double 4-inch bottom hem. And by using the grid on this tabletop, I don't have to measure it as long as I start with the edge of the fabric lined up on a line. Then I just fold it up to the 8-inch line, press it, and then double it, press it again and pin it, and then it's ready to go. So this is what I'm doing. I'm just getting it totally straight, as even as possible on this line right here. I'm only worried about this section that I'm working on right here. The rest of it's all in a pile down there. It's only temporary, so it's not going to harm the fabric. So I want to make sure that the area right around here is all smoothed out so I can fold up 8 inches right here to this line. So that way, this is really easy. I don't have to use a ruler. And I know I'm going to get a super straight hem. And then once I get it pulled up to that line, I'm going to kind of finger press it into place before I pull the iron over, and then there won't be as much adjusting. And like I said, this is a lot easier with two hands, but I'm trying to show you closer up how it looks when I'm doing it with my own eyes. Okay, so now that it's pretty much ready to press, you can see that it's laying pretty straight. I'm going to bring the iron over and press and steam that into place. Okay, now I'm ready to press this crease for the bottom hem that I had lined up on the 8-inch line, and making little adjustments as I go so I can make sure I am on that line, not above it or below it. This is gonna get blackout lining, which is why I'm starting on the hem. If it wasn't gonna have a lining, I would be starting at the top with the buckram. If it was just a sheer, an unlined sheer, I would start at the top. This is when the tabletop with the gridded lines comes in so handy. Saves me a lot of time. I used to have a table that started out plain canvas, and I would draw lines on it for tabling, but I didn't have the whole grid drawn out. Okay, now the next step is to fold the whole 8 inches into itself, creating the double 4-inch hem. And this is where I pay a lot of attention to getting this raw edge right here all the way tucked down into that crease that I just pressed. And I can see it since it's a sheer. So I'm going to make sure it's all the way in there before I press it again up here. I really don't like it when there's any gaps down at that bottom, because you can see it. And then you know that you have a really even hemline up here if that cut edge reaches all the way to the bottom of this line. So I'm going to work that out before I press it. I'm going to work out the whole stretch of fabric here. And then I'll press it and pin it, and then slide down the next section. See right here, it's not all the way down yet, but now it is right there. So this is a burnout shear, and the reason they call it burnout is because of these little fringy looking fibers, which the first time I worked on a fabric like this, I thought that was the back, not the front, but it's a fancy technique for getting texture on a shear. It's really pretty. Now I've come to appreciate it. Just keep working out that fabric to the edge. This one's just a little bit challenging because of those burnout threads getting caught on other parts of the fabric. Almost to the end. And then I can press it and pin it. Okay. Okay, so now I'm ready to press the top edge of the bottom hem. I have it all situated where the raw edge of the 8-inch hem is all the way folded down to this first crease. And I'm going to make sure as I go that it stays there. So I'm using my left hand to just adjust it here and there where I can see that there's a little gap here and there. And then as I'm pressing with the iron, I'm not letting the iron sit down on the fabric the whole time. I'm lifting it up and setting it down as I go so that I'm not pushing and stretching the fabric. And this is where we're combining the first stretch with the new stretch sections of fabric. And I want to make sure that transition is laying nice and straight. Okay, that looks good. Now I can pin the hem and do the last section and then take it to the hemmer. And I'm putting the pins down from the top edge about 1.5 inches on purpose so that as I'm hemming at the blind stitch machine, I can leave those in. And then the hemming goes a lot faster. I don't have to stop and take out pins if I were to pin them this way. And they don't have to be super close, so I just gap them a few inches in between. And as I'm pinning, I don't normally move it so much, but I want to keep it laying as straight as possible before I move it off the table. This should go through the blind hemmer really nicely. Those sections of burnout threads are not gonna get in the way like an embroidery shear would. Sometimes those are difficult. Not always, but sometimes they are. Okay, so now we just have this one last section to go. I'll do the same thing. Get it lined up on a line, fold it up 8, press this part, double turn it, press it, and pin it. And it's ready to take to the hemmer.